Hey y'all, welcome back to It Is Good News Podcast TikTok. I am J2. We are going to be starting a new weekly series called What the Lord Has Been Teaching Me This Week. So without further ado, let's get started. So a couple things that the Lord's been teaching me this week. Number one, let God be God. Just let God be God. Let him do his thing. Let him do what he is supposed to do. And do not try to take on any weight that is not yours to carry, okay? It's two things that I have to remember consistently. The other thing is trusting him specifically during spiritual warfare. This week was a heavy week of spiritual warfare. I don't know if it was tied to the full moon because, that's a whole nother topic for another day with the full moon and like occultic stuff that happens, during full moon phases and everything. But yeah, so trusting in the Lord during spiritual warfare, there was a lot of division trying to be sown this week. And the Lord just reminded me just to let him do the work, hide under the shadow of his wing. He fights my battles for me, and let God be God in the midst of it. And tying back to the not carrying weight that's not yours to carry and it's his to carry to begin with. I have a heavy burden for the lost, people who don't know Christ, and a lot of the people that are in my life that I know that don't know the Lord, I have a heavy burden to pray for them consistently. I'm an intercessor, and so sometimes I have a tendency to carry the weight of it instead of just praying and interceding and just releasing it back to the Lord. And the Lord reminded me this week and has been refining me in that area of, yes, thank you for praying. You're interceding. You are petitioning. Now you need to release it back to me and let me do what you're asking me to do. So those are the things that he's been reminding me of and teaching me this week is simply let God be God. Trust him in the midst of spiritual warfare to fight for you. You will come through it. He's our heavenly Father. Like, why would he not fight for us? Jesus died on a cross for us and he was raised from the dead and he gave up his life for us. Why would he not fight for us in the middle of spiritual warfare, right? And then the last thing is not carrying weight that's not yours to carry when it's his, because we are called to plant and water seeds. God gives the increase. So one plants, one waters, God does the work. And I'm actually really glad that God is the one that does the work, because if we had to do the work, that's a lot to carry. So I'm very thankful and grateful that the Lord just reminded me of those things this week. And I'm constantly being taught things and being refined and just becoming more like him and being more like him in his image. So that's what the Lord's taught me this week. Tune in next week. Oh, and also comment down below if there's anything that the Lord has taught you this week. We would love to